The moment the door slammed shut, we realized we had paid to trap ourselves inside with a killer. My name is Evan, and this story still shakes me every time I think about it. It happened on what was supposed to be a normal weekend. I went with my best friend Liam, his girlfriend Sarah, and our classmate Maya to a new escape room in downtown Denver. We were all thrill seekers. Puzzles, scares, sudden shocks, none of it bothered us. The room was called the Abandoned Basement. The place had low lighting, a heavy steel door, and a damp smell too real for comfort. The game master looked at us with a cold smirk and said, "Once you're inside, no phones, no help, no turning back." We laughed. We had no idea we were stepping into the last escape room we'd ever play. The door shut behind us with a metallic clank. We started looking around. Rusted pipes, smeared handprints on the walls, a broken clock, and a locked iron box in the corner. Everything seemed normal until Sarah stopped moving. "Guys, why does it sound like someone's walking?" We froze. The room was silent, then creak, creak. Slow, heavy footsteps pacing across wooden floorboards. "Probably sound effects," Liam muttered, though he didn't sound convinced. Then the intercom clicked on. But instead of the game master's voice, a deep, strained voice filled the room and said, "Escape, if you can." We stared at each other. This wasn't part of the game. 5 minutes later, everything fell apart. A metal panel in the wall slid open on its own. We leaned in to look and saw a dim photograph inside of a man hanging by his wrists, bruised, lifeless. Sarah screamed, "This is not part of an escape room." I reached to close the panel when suddenly a hand grabbed my wrist from inside the wall. Cold, strong, human. I jerked back and the panel slammed shut hard, as if the person behind it had pushed back. Maya whispered, trembling, "Someone's inside the walls." We kicked and pulled at the steel door, but it wouldn't move an inch. Then the lights went out. Total darkness. I could hear the others breathing. But there was another breath too. Heavy. Slow. Close. Footsteps circled us in the dark, soft, measured, hunting. Liam flicked on his small flashlight, and in that beam stood a tall, thin man in the corner. His shirt was stained with blood. A cracked mask hid his face, and his eyes were thin black slits. A butcher knife hung from his hand. He looked at us and said, "You paid to escape." But nobody escapes me. We ran toward the exit, but he stepped in front of us. Instead of attacking, he stepped back, tilting his head like he was inviting us into his twisted game. "Find the key. Before I find you." Then the lights cut out and he disappeared. It was like he melted into the walls. Panic took over. We tore through clues, hands shaking, breath uneven. But something felt wrong. These puzzles weren't designed like normal escape room challenges. On a rusty metal plate near the door, we found a line scratched in. He locks them. He hunts them. He records everything. In the corner, a tiny hidden camera blinked red. That's when the truth hit us. This wasn't a themed escape room. This was his personal hunting room. The game, the puzzles, the clues, this was all part of his ritual. Then we found a USB drive and a lockbox labeled Play Me. We plugged it into a corner screen, and the footage that appeared froze the blood in our veins. Victims past victims, screaming, begging, pounding on the same door we had just tried to break. And then their bodies, silent and still. No one had ever escaped. We were next. They say when the police finally raided that building, only one person was found alive. And even now, that survivor wakes up every night screaming that the killer is still inside the walls. As for me, every time I try to sleep, I swear I feel his breath behind my ear, the same slow, heavy breathing like he's still waiting to finish the escape I never completed. If you were brave enough to listen to this alone at night, then the next nightmare on Hauntra TV will keep you awake for days. Subscribe now. Every night a new terror, a new story, and maybe you won't end up the next name on his list.